mate.
I will say this about investing. Everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.
Welcome to another episode of Equity Mates, where we will help you learn to invest in 15 minutes or less. We break down the world of investing from beginning to dividend so that you can hopefully make some returns. My name's Bryce, and as always, I'm joined by my equity buddy, Ren. How are you going, bro?
I'm very good, Bryce. How are you?
Mate, can't complain. Getting towards the end of another week, so the weekend is almost here. Rain is on the horizon, which is good for everyone affected by drought. 100% of New South Wales, apparently.
Yeah,
not you down in not in Victoria.
In Victoria, no. Melbourne weather is still as unpredictable as ever.
Always, mate. And we're also heading into the last round of the AFL this weekend. Particularly sad for Essendon because we didn't make the finals. Lucky for Sydney.
By the time people are listening to this, the weekend will be over and we'll know where Sydney came.
Very true.
We already know where Essendon have come, which is Mad Monday celebrations and not playing finals.
True.
But yeah, Sydney, either 4th or 6th at this stage.
Oh, mate, what's your bet? What do you reckon?
Well, Buddy's not playing this weekend, but
is that confirmed? Wow.
I've got to back Sydney in.
You've got to back
Sydney
the Swans in.
Sydney to beat the Hawks by 30 points.
30 points.
Ben Ronk to kick 8.
Oh, mate. I mean, but tipping them, I was, that's one thing. But by 30 points and Ben Ronk, never heard of him, to kick 8 goals.
Come on, mate. Ben Ronk in his 3rd game this year kicked 7 goals against the Hawks.
Oh, okay. So he's a Hawks specialist.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Well, all the best to the Swans, I guess. It'd be a good game to go and see. You're going, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Anyway, this is all in the past, so...
Yeah.
Hopefully they won. Today, Ren, we're going to discuss books, and this is something that we've done on and off over the last year or so. You're a very avid reader. You probably read 3 books to my 1 or 4 books to my 1. Very fast reader. And you retain a lot of that information. So today we're going to pick your brain about some of the books that you've been reading and some lessons and things that you've learnt. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, sure. But before we do that, if you haven't signed up to our live event in Melbourne or Sydney, make sure you do. Go to our social media page or our website and sign up.
Yep.
It's for a night of finance and fun.
Finance and fun, yes. It's us, General Assembly and Beta Shares putting on a night called #FinanceGoals. Make your money grow with you. And as you said, Ren, it's our first opportunity to be live from away from the mic. Well, we may have a mic, who knows, but we're going to be live in front of anyone who comes along and gets a free ticket, may I add. So we're coming down your way, Ren, in a couple of weeks' time. Wednesday, the 5th of September from 6 to 8 p.m. at the General Assembly campus. All information is on our website or our Facebook page. And just to give you a flavour of the night, we are going to be getting together with the investing experts from BetaShares team, Elon, who's the founder, and he's going to be discussing things such as investing 101, all things to do ETFs, and we're going to be looking at global technology, cybersecurity, and ethical warriors as 3 interesting investment ideas for the 21st century. And then, Ren, they're going to hand over to us, and we're going to blow everyone away with an immaculately well-prepared presentation. And give everyone a bit of insight into who we are, where Equity Mates started, and a few major lessons that we've learnt along the way over the last few years or so. So it's going to be a cracker of a night. We've got some cool stuff to talk about and to share with everyone. And yeah, sign up. It's free. Head to our website or our social media pages to find out more and sign up.
Yeah, nice.
Well, what do you got for us, Ren?
So the reason that I wanted to do an episode on some books that I've read recently was one particular book that I read, which has a terrible name, but some really good lessons. Now, the book is called Millennial Money.
Oh, God.
Which, yeah, I know. I know. When
Why
I
did
saw
you choose it?
when I saw it on Amazon, I was like, this is a shocking name. But then I saw who wrote it, and for those who are unfamiliar with him, the author is Patrick O'Shaughnessy, who's the son of Jim O'Shaughnessy, who wrote a pretty famous book back in the day, What Works on Wall Street. Patrick O'Shaughnessy is actually a rival podcast host, so we're spruiking one of our rivals here. But he's the CEO of O'Shaughnessy Asset Management, and someone that I am quite interested in. He's very plain-spoken, and he's pretty insightful. Yeah. So despite the cheesy name, I bought it, spent the $10 for whatever it was, and was pretty impressed. Thought it was a really good book. Thought it was a really good book for the the sort of Equity Mates audience. So if there's one thing you take away from this episode, it's push past the cheesy name and give it a try.
Yeah, well, we were just discussing, I've got a book very much at that same vein. So my question with Millennial Money, though, it sort of sounds like it's targeted towards personal finance rather than investing. I would have guessed that without knowing who it was written by. So is it along those lines, or is it investing?
No, it's very much investing based.
Right.
So to give you guys the quick rundown, it basically makes the case that we think about risk and we think about investing all wrong. And in fact, the biggest risk you can take in your life, in your financial life, is not investing. And he makes a really good case for it, and he makes a really good case for why investing is the least risky course of action. And just pulled out some stats from it. I won't do it justice, but if you were around in the 70s and our parents were sort of coming up around then, you just saved your money in the bank, every dollar that you saved would be worth about 17 cents. So you would have lost about 80% of your money. If you had held treasury bonds, generally considered the safest form of investing, you would have made about if you put $100,000 in, you would have made about $50,000, so not much. But if you put that $100,000 into the stock market, you would have over $1 million. And the way he talks about that is basically the biggest risk is not how much a share price moves in a year, but the biggest risk is not having enough to achieve your financial goals or to support yourself in later life. And he then goes on to lay out like a really simple, easy to follow, easy to understand strategy to invest.
What is it?
Well, you're going to have to read the book.
I think my question with this is it might be a bit confusing to some people, Ren. You're saying if you put your 100,000 into the stocks, you'd make over $1 million if you put it in the 70s. But that's like not into a specific stock. He's not saying you could have put your $100,000 into any stock and it would be worth 100,000. I just want to, for the beginner, sort of frame what you're saying in the sense that investing in the market index itself is essentially what he's saying, right?
Well, to an extent, you're right. It's not an individual stock, but part of his sort of really simple to understand strategy is indexes. The normal indexes that we talk about are pretty counterintuitive. If you just are investing in indexes, you're just investing in the biggest stocks in the share market.
Yeah.
The biggest stocks are generally the slowest growers.
Yeah.
So his strategy is it's basically an indexing strategy, but it's a way to identify stocks that will grow more rather than just, doing the ASX 200 and it's the biggest 200 companies.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so look, I reckon it's a really good book to sort of dip your toe in the investing water and just sort of understand why you should invest and how you should invest.
Do you need to know anything about investing to give it a crack?
No, nothing at all.
Right, nice. I'm sold.
So, yeah, push past the name and it'll be worth it. And one of the facts I pulled out of there, this is nothing to do with investing, but did you know that in 2011, Japan sold more adult diapers than baby diapers?
What? Because they're aging population?
Yeah, because their demographics are so skewed towards elderly people.
Wow, I did not know that, but I guess I'm not surprised.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
messed
what was
up.
he saying? Invest in the companies that make adult diapers.
No, he was saying that. I actually can't remember why. I just remember making a note of that because I thought it was interesting.
Fact. Yeah, so I guess if you're about to close this one out, then I would just like to know, you said that he sort of laid forward a bit of a investing strategy. Are you going to actually implement anything that he suggested, or has it changed the way you think about anything?
So I think we sort of follow his strategy a little bit. Really, he sort of summed it up with like 3 sort of overarching labels, and it was go global, be different, and get out of your own way. So, very simply, go global is to look beyond the country that you're in, especially, us in Australia, get out of the Australian markets and look beyond. Be different is just what stocks you're investing in. So, as I was saying before, don't just buy the index with the biggest companies in a market. And he talks about some ways that you can sort of select stocks. And then the last one, get out of your own way, is, don't trade in and out of positions, hold for the long term, all of that. And I think, we're sort of on that path a little bit. You're trying your hand at trading these days, but I think we're on the same path.
Yeah, nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not focusing my entire strategy on trading now. It's probably like a 5% of my portfolio. But yeah, it's. I might read this book. It sounds very much down sort of the path, as you said, that we're taking. So good to confirm a few things. What else have you got?
Well, nothing that I'd recommend as highly, but there's a couple of other ones that we'll just put links to them in the show notes.
We'll also put all these. We've got a books section on our website that we'll throw all these up, and you can. Have a look.
That is true. Yeah, but some of the other ones I've read recently. Lords of Finance, which is about the central banks between the wars.
Yeah.
Fascinating book, really good read. It was actually one of the ones that Ali Hamed talked about in our interview with him.
Yeah.
So don't take my word for it, take his. Black Swan by Nassim Taleb.
Yeah.
Like a groundbreaking book when it was released on risk and how you think about risk in investing and in life. And then one for people who are working in business or who are interested in markets. The Outsiders by William Thorndike talks about like 8 record-beating CEOs and how they sort of got to their position, how they grew their companies. Interesting one to think about for anyone who wants to do that in their future. No, that's really it from me. What about you? Anything you've read recently that you would suggest?
Yes, in line with what you were just saying, Ren, I am trying my hand, or at least trying to understand a bit more about trading shorter term and understanding stock patterns rather than looking further into the fundamentals of companies and that sort of stuff like we do. But yeah, just trying to get a bit more of an insight into this momentum buy sort of strategy. So Trade Like a Stock Market Wizard is one that I finished a couple of weeks ago. And
with the worst cover that you've ever seen.
Oh, it's a shocker. And there's just the tagline, how to achieve super performance in stocks in any market. Learn the strategy that made him one of America's most successful stock traders. It's just like, God.
It kind of looks like a combination of like a self-help book and like a trashy airport read.
Oh, it does. It's got like word art font on the front. But don't be put off by the cover. Just like you, Ren. It's a fantastic book, and it was recommended by Matt from Stake actually. And I would totally agree that if you want to sort of dip your toe into understanding a bit more about that side of investing, then absolutely give it a crack. And I'm also just about to finish Shoe Dog, which is not necessarily investing related, but it is the sort of memoirs of Phil Knight, who was the creator of Nike, and it's just a really interesting book. It's written in a very sort of fictitious way. It doesn't really sound like, and then this happened and then that happened. And I think the main message that really sort of resonates with me is just the, plug away, and his determination. It was just unbelievable. Also just forging a path that he didn't really know where he was going. He just knew that there was sort of something there and just sort of pushed ahead with it and was very determined. So some great messages from that book, and we'll put all of these on our website and you can check them all out.
So if you've taken nothing else from this episode, push past the title of Millennial Money and push past the cover of How to Trade Like a Stock Market Wizard.
Trade like a stock market wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, absolute shockers.
And if there are any publishers out there that want to bounce some book names off us, we'll give you some frank advice about what to call it and what to put on the cover.
Yes. Nice one, Ren. Well, if anything I've gotten out of this episode is that I am going to read, what was it called? Millennial Investing or whatever. Millennial Money.
Yeah.
Nice one. All right, well, until next time, Ren, have a good week. Hopefully the Swans won, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yep, sounds good.
Hello, mates of Equity Mates. Or I guess that just makes you Equity Mates. Anyway, it's Bryce here. One of the most frequently asked questions we get is, where do we find information about all these stocks, and where's a good place to start? Now, we could do a whole episode on this, and we often do touch on it, but the best place to start is by signing up to our Thought Starters weekly email. Each week, we send you some cool stuff that has caught our eye during the week, as well as some more detailed articles on stocks and invested-relating content. We also include Basics 101. These are articles tailored specifically for beginners to really propel you on your way. We don't spam you. I mean, we hate spam. It's once a week, and there's enough stuff in there to occupy you for a full day of browsing at work. Now, Ren puts a lot of effort into finding quality articles for you guys, so if anything, just sign up so he feels the love. Head to equitymates.com and chuck in your email at the bottom of the page.
Equity Mates and the people appearing in this program may have positions in the companies mentioned. This is general advice only. Please speak to a financial professional to understand how it may pertain to your individual situation.